In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 illegal games to play. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Censorship is a type of censorship. It's a contentious topic in the video game industry. Some gamers take it personally when developers change their vision to better meet the needs of the market. However, the alternative could be even worse. Video games have been removed from store shelves all over the world because they were just too much for the audience to manage. Here's a list of the 10 illegal games to play. Let's start. Number 10. EA Sports MMA. What is the strangest excuse you can think of for banning a game? This one, on the other hand, is stranger. EA Sports MMA was EA Sports' attempt in 2010 to cash in on the no-holds-barred fighting craze without obtaining the UFC license. Why, then, was it outlawed in Denmark? Was it the merciless chokes and brutal kicks? No way. It had anything to do with the energy drinks. Before fights, EA Sports MMA featured in-game advertising for caffeine and sugar concoctions, which is illegal in that region. Number 9. Bully. We warned you that Rockstar will appear on this list several times. Although it's understandable that governments will have issues with anarchic GTA games or over-the-top carnage and manhunt, what could be so bad about Bully, the company's classic 2006 story about an English schoolboy navigating the social constructs of boarding school? Ask the government of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil's southernmost province, which slammed the brakes on Bully soon after it was out. Number 8. Command & Conquer: Generals. Government censors don't have to be offended by a game's content if it isn't outrageously pornographic or aggressive. To get your game banned, sometimes all you have to do is blow up a country. Players may order either the United States, China, or a decentralized terrorist force targeting both in the 7th iteration of the long-running franchise. Making a bid for the Asian market seemed to be a smart idea at the time, but it backfired. Number 7. Grand Theft Auto. The GTA games have been criticized all over the world for glorifying violence and mayhem, but only one nation has gone so far as to outright ban all of the games in the series. Surprisingly enough, that's Thailand. Although the country does not normally censor violence, though it does prohibit games with adult sexual content, Rockstar's cash cow is an outlier due to some real-world consequences. In 2008, Paul Witt Chino, a young man from Bangkok, hailed a taxi and, when it came time to pay, instead pulled out a knife and stabbed the driver to death. Chino blamed Grand Theft Auto for his aggressive acts when cops apprehended him, claiming that killing seemed simple in the game, and that he needed the money to play. The government retaliated by making all GTA games illegal in one fell swoop. Number 6. The Pokémon trading card game. What kind of country would consider it enough to outlaw anything as seemingly harmless as the Pokémon trading card game? Folks, welcome to Saudi Arabia. In 2001, the heavily Muslim Middle Eastern country released an edict prohibiting the import of both electronic and physical copies of the game. What is the reason for this? Since the game's energy icons resemble the Star of David, which everyone knows is associated with international Zionism and serves as Israel's national emblem. For obvious geopolitical purposes, promoting Zionism is a major no-no in many Middle Eastern countries. Number 5. Custer's Revenge. People have been attempting to transform video games into porn for almost as long as they have existed. Custer's Revenge, released in 1982 for the Atari 2600, is one of the most well-known smutty games of all time. The game, which was developed in Canoga Park by Mystique, a subsidiary of an adult film studio, cast the player as a horny General Custer with a pixelated boner who had to walk across the screen through a hail of arrows to pork a Native American woman bound to a pole. Isn't that classy? When the game was first published, anti-sex feminist Andrea Dworkin said that it had resulted in many gang rapes of Native American women. Number 4. Postal 2. Many games try to push the boundaries of poor taste, but none go as far as the Postal series. The long-running Sandbox series puts you in the shoes of a regular Joe out running errands only to be driven into a vicious, homicidal rage, often by Gary Coleman, and their anarchic sense of humor is certainly an acquired taste. It is fair to assume New Zealand never acquired it. The game was banned in New Zealand because of its gross, abhorrent content, urination, high-impact violence, animal cruelty, homophobia, racial, and ethnic stereotypes. Let's be honest. All of those elements are present in the game. Number 3. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. While there has never been a national ban on any video game in Mexico, one title enraged regional officials enough to prevent it from being sold. Your tactical unit collaborates with Mexican law enforcement to clear guerrillas from city streets, resulting in vicious firefights. The mayor of Juarez was not pleased with a video game depicting his city as dangerous, despite the city's high levels of real-world drug violence, so he persuaded the governor of Chihuahua to order the seizure of all copies of the game in the state and prohibit its sale. Number 2. Manhunt 2. To give you a heads up, Rockstar Games will appear on this list a few times. With the Grand Theft Auto games, the studio has courted controversy to great success, but when it dipped a toe into the brutal world of snuff porn with the Manhunt games, it got a little more than it bargained for. The first game in the series drew government ire in New Zealand and elsewhere, but the second, which ramped up the gore and violence to previously unheard levels, got hammered even harder. By way of the eye. In Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia, as well as South Korea, it was prohibited from sale, which also banned the original. Number 1. RapeLay. Many of the games on this list were outlawed due to cultural misinterpretations. You can't say the same thing for RapeLay. Illusion, a Japanese studio, released the insanely controversial game in 2006, and it almost immediately sparked a firestorm of negative emotions. If you haven't heard of RapeLay, it is a game that places you in the shoes of a sexual predator and forces you to stalk and have sex with a mother and her 2 daughters. After its release, RapeLay was banned in a number of countries. In Argentina, Indonesia, and New Zealand, selling it is prohibited. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.